Our family is filled with poetesses and poets, healers, co-secretary generals, co-saviorahs.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the co-federation, solar, SZUNNRISZESZ, planet Earth, restored to heaven on our and every earth, as our spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal voyager and shared her and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and re-understand, sustain, and explore are and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, past, present, retroactively, and now, rebellion, and future, always balancing, to lovingly, genealogically, and boldly become and be space-time travelers whenever and where we have interdimensional reality, all in part been before, if also never been before, in alternative space-time lines that are circles, which are of the universal EQ, IQ, and SQ continuum, balance, combinations of the ever-expanding circle which spirals and grows, budding and blooming in space-time. Love and live enlightened, ever young, long, and prosper all both in each and every one. Engage your heart, mind, soul, and body, for we all, both in each, and each, both in all, can, must, and marvelously and miraculously make it so.
In the thunderous blast, she merges, her eyes on fire, a mighty priestess. She is risen from the nativity of Kandra. She is risen from the fires of the earth. She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
She is risen. She's risen.
We are risen.
We all are risen by my intercession.
महालक्ष्मी मृडप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्त्व महाशक्ति महारथी महाभूत महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धि महासिद्धि महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्र महामंत्र महायंत्र महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्पक महाताण्डवसाक्षिणी महाकामेशमहिषी महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी चतुष्षष्टि उपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टिकलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटियोगिनी गणसेविका
best human got. No. No words. No words. I should have said, oh, so beautiful. Other people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
Our family is filled with poetesses. Hi, Ma Patricia, we're broadcasting. Is Anna right there? Oh, all right, dear, we're broadcasting. Do you want to say anything? Oh, my darling, are you all right? We're going to share the new money rule again right now. We're sharing it with all the people watching all over the universe who they're watching. Can you hear it? Well, I'm glad to reach you, dear. What? Are you there? Well, we are representing all of your family, past, present, and future. Yes. Yes. Can you hear it? Hear it, my dear? Can you hear it? We're broadcasting on the internet here. Your picture. Your daughter's picture with all of our family too. You hearing all this, Ma Patricia? Are you there, honey?
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not your new millennial law.
Okay. Mother Patricia,
Maybe play sunflower or purity and black. This is Anna Marie singing Christmas, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Algonquin, Dakota, and I am also a French, English, and German. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennium goals through as the law of all the natives of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes. This is Anna Marie.
And hopefully and prayerfully not against
to your voice. Hold on. Listen.
I have set before you life and
You're
death.
Coming up.
Blessings
You're
and
talking
curses.
right in a second. Hold
now
on 1 second.
Choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For
Listen
I
to
give
yourself.
You good doctrine.
You're talking to the world. Hold on.
Forsake ye not our
Listen.
new millennial law.
Okay. I've got a situation. Maybe play sunflower or Cherokee and black. This is Anna Marie singing Christmas, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Algonquin, Dakota, and I am also a French, English, and German. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennium goals through as the law of all the natives of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes. Did you hear it? Did you hear it, honey? Good. Welcome to our Starry Hours broadcasts of the one family of love and life in the light of balance of the Co-Federation of Earth and Planets of the New Millennial Golden Rule.
We welcome you again. We hope you have been watching these broadcasts. We do them a number of times a day in order to make sure that we reach our family, and that we are honoring the eternal feminine, and that the universe listening knows that we are not deterred in our course of honoring the eternal feminine as best we can in an environment, a society, a process that has become hostile to the eternal feminine and has become moribund and platonic in its patriarchal practices. We recognize that at this time on our planet, marvelous, miraculous children have become an inversion of their endowed selves, their actual birthright of who they are. Women and children of all ages have become suppressed and suppressing of one another. And instead of expressing their love and their loving kindness, they are expressing cold and a loss of intention for life and future. A very short-sightedness, an aggressive bullying without a reason, for the simple sake of control of others. A caricature of masculinity, not actual true masculinity at all. And this has occurred simply because the patriarchal processes of family and then institutionalized aspects of society, economics and political entities, have become so preying upon themselves and one another that we are tipping as a planet toward horror and extinction. We are here to break that process and to transform it quickly via the new millennial golden rule, which is at 5050now.wordpress.com. We do our best to let those who would want to know of these broadcasts know that they are occurring. We think that most everyone knows, that would need to know in our family. We're not absolutely sure because there are such barriers put up to communication that in some situations, some instances, I may have only been able to get out half or a quarter of the full message that I wanted to share before the barrier went up. So we are hoping, we think that everyone knows at some level that this is occurring. And they have some, at least dim awareness that this is occurring. And it is occurring regularly and on their behalf. I believe I am standing in the breach, but my wish to give you the fullest light has been slowed by the sheer weight of the darkness around me. I am shining just as brightly as ever. Our very excellent information is fully available on the World Wide Web. We have been emailing as regularly as we can. We are trying to make sure that everyone who would know knows this is continuing. They certainly know how to reach these broadcasts. And you can call us at, if you're out of the North American continent, dial 011-011, and then dial 1, country code 1, 641-715 3580 and then dial access code 773342 and you will reach our teleconference line. We give priority to women and to young people, female and male, age 37 and younger, as our co-hostesses and co-hosts in sharing the new millennial golden rule, which is at 5050now.wordpress.com. I hope that you have watched these broadcasts enough to know that you had best turn off television, turn off corporate radio, turn off the lie. The lie is one of omission. There has been a deliberate, calculated censorship of women making decisions in government, except at a token level. All of the major women leaders who are heads of countries have not been put on North American television for years. When was the last time you saw Angela Merkel? You didn't see her. When was the last time you saw any of the major Green parties and Labor parties of Europe being broadcast in North America? You didn't see them. When was the last time you saw a televised Panchayat Raj meeting from India? You didn't see it, even though it's been going on since 1993. When was the last time you saw the Ministry of Children and Family Well-being in Austria and Germany broadcast, which they do, about the importance of family leave? You didn't see it because it was all censored. When was the last time you saw the entire, not only speech that Hillary Clinton gave, Hillary Hallowell Cassidy Clinton gave at Beijing in 1995, the Beijing Conference for Women, as well as the other proceedings that occurred there that required a 30% percentage of women in government by the year 2000 everywhere on Earth? When was the last time you saw it? You didn't see it. And you're not going to see it until they can kill you off first. They would rather kill humanity than allow women to be seen as decision makers in North America. They can only be seen as tokens. They'll be trotted out. Those who accept the token status are trotted out in front of you. Those who mention parity are hidden from you and have been for 25, 27 years. And this is an old game because this is exactly what was done with the contents of the Common Sense that was delivered in January and February of 1776 that called for a government that was half women, included indigenous, had no slavery and no property requirement. It was hidden. Everything that could benefit the common woman, the common man, and their children has been hidden from you, and you have been given entertaining infotainment distraction to keep you from noticing that which would have helped you evolve as a human species was hidden from you. So you would devolve and you would become easy to manipulate. The problem is that this process is not ethical and it is demonic, and therefore the people who are doing it are being impacted and affected by their own censorship, and therefore they are not functioning right either. They are becoming more and more insane. Like Nero, fiddling while Rome burns, like the evil emperor of Star Wars, who was crazy. This society has become crazy. How can the most educated people among those on this earth, a literate society, have no family leave? What kind of strange imbalance that gives them nuclear stockpiles filled with weapons and no family leave? This is a cyclops. It is a monster. And you, by adjusting to it, are becoming daily and daily more monstrous. Do not accept what you see on television and therefore turn it off. Do not buy anything new over the internet that you do not need for your survival, for your immediate needs. Do not make any major investments that are not essential, because all of what you are doing economically is on the wrong paradigm. It is using the outmoded gross domestic product instead of the genuine progress indicator, which we have and can be using, and is part of the new millennial golden rule, and it has been around now since the 1990s. You are being deliberately crippled. So a few old people can fulfill some mental video game that they're playing in their heads, in which they destroy the world, but they die on top. That really is what they are about. They want the destruction because they've sensed that the technology has reached a point that if they do not hide truth from you, and particularly from women, that they would no longer be on top. They'd actually have to share at the same level as other people, and in their screwy minds, that's a problem. In fact, it would make them multi-zillionaires because of the creativity it would bring forth in humanity. But they don't get that because their instincts are hierarchical to the point of caricature and ludicrousness. And they need the hierarchy more than life itself. And I know people like this, and they are in my family, and they are insane, and they literally will kill those that they love. Slowly, poisonously, and cruelly. Just so they can pretend that they are the one in control of what is going on in their family, in their community. And that they, by that person, I mean they are the patriarchal ones, the ones who need the men to be not equal, but on top. It is a horrible thing. I am crying for you all the time. I think you have run out of time. You need to come to these broadcasts and co-host them, or I cannot guarantee your safety at all anymore. I am trying to act as your Kozina, Kosevira, Couszmic Christ to save you. But you have been ignoring everything I've been saying to you for 3 years. Almost all of you have been ignoring it. And now I'm afraid the chickens are going to come home to roost on you for doing that. And I cannot stop it. God as God can only allow people a certain amount of time with which to choose between evil and good. If it's clear that you are remaining in evil willfully, or at such a level of locked pattern in it that you can't and won't extricate yourself, the way a chain smoker won't stop smoking, the way an addict will not stop using the drug. No matter how the doctors and the family and the people who love them beg them and plead with them and give them a place of respite so they don't have to take this anymore. And yet they will continue to take that drug until they die. You are doing that. It is what you are doing. You are addicted to patriarchy. Your mind is not your own. You have been mind programming. Your functioning is deleterious to you and those you love. To all people. To all life. You need to step back from the brink. Comment co-hostess. Call on the conference line number that I gave. Co-hostess and co-host. Or I cannot safeguard you anymore. I've been holding on to you for dear life, trying so much to give you a life raft, a life jacket, and you keep throwing it back at me and not putting it on. You are preferring to die. It is understandable, because when the mother turns against the child, then you have a very inverted situation. We know this from the myth of Medea, the ancient myth of Medea. She did not quite identify the patriarchy that made her experience with Jason so painful. She knew she was angry with him, but she could not hold him accountable for change in the direction that would have been the real change by working with the other women of her time and protecting her and all the children. So instead, she killed her children. In frustration from what she could not relieve herself from, patriarchy, she killed her children. I see this with the women in my family and community. They are, by ignoring parity, day after day after day, saying, I'm not interested, I don't want to hear about it, it's not my thing, I have other things I'm working on, I have other ideas, it's not my idea. Every time they say that, they endanger themselves, their children, and their entire planet. And it's been going on here in North America, and it's been promoted by the media. You read about this at 5050now.wordpress.com. There's a lot of material about the media. And the other area which is most strange that has promoted it is our women's groups. Our League of Women Voters, Reall, National Organization for Women. These groups have promoted a notion of feminism that has nothing to do with representing women and nothing to do with balance of love and work and nothing to do with protecting Mother Nature and the divine feminine of society. It's all about making sure that abortion is protected and that women can enter the military if they wish to. That's all. It has been co-opted, hijacked, and inverted. It is a yang culture, and it is killing all of its children every day. I believe we have now taken today a quantum leap backward, and I am hoping that by the end of the week I can move us back to forward again, because I am working on some things for you to try to help you, but I am too slow to keep up with the speed of the cancer that patriarchy is once it's internalized. And I know I'm too slow. And therefore, I am very, very worried and concerned about you, and I'm crying for you, and I'm pleading, Mother, Father, Goddess, God, please, Mother, Father, Goddess, God, don't let me have failed. I will not give up, Mother, Father, Goddess, God, no matter what signals you give me of my failure, I won't give up. If I have to resurrect people, I'll resurrect them. I will not give up on my children or your children. Don't you give up on them, Mother, Father, Goddess. Don't you give up on them, Mother, Father, Goddess, God. As fallen as they are, as demonic as they are, don't give up on them. So I am pleading for you, and I'm standing in the breach. And these broadcasts are my way of keeping that torch high and visible, so that somebody in their little bit of their dark corner of their dark processes knows that the light is up. It is being held up. It is not going away. A woman who wants to be held as an adult that can make decisions and protect her children and protect her generations and protect the world and world's futures is standing up and is talking and is not shut down and is not saying, oh, we'll wait for 2030 for gender parity. Oh, by the way, we'll all have been dead of global warming by then, but we'll wait till 2030. Co-optation is a killer. And it's so easy to do it for women because women are trusting. If you throw a wrong woman leader in front of them and she winks in the right way at them, they'll follow her. Women are trusting. It goes with the estrogen nature. If you use that against her, she does become her own worst enemy and her children's worst enemy. Is that what you want? She's already been punch drunk for thousands of years since the fall of Atlantis. Do you really want to KO her forever? Because then you won't have a planet. You'll have a jungle of animals pushing button machines at each other's throats until you're all dead. And in a horrible way. I'm trying to protect you. Why are you not helping yourselves and me? You have internalized the demonic sociopathic 1%. You have become your own oppressor. You have become your own kidnapper. You have Stockholm Syndrome. You are turning on each other with cruelty and coldness of emotional, relational aggression. And when this takes hold among the men, they take it to the military level, and it takes place in the form of war or crime. Or extreme substance abuse. Or demonic medicine that kills more than it helps. I am trying to save you. Let me save you. Or understand that you have had the keys to eternal life given to you, and you've turned away from them. What does that make you? Are you really completely insane? How demonic can you be? Look at the New Millennial Golden Rule at 5050now.wordpress.com and tell everyone you know that it is your law, and any law that doesn't fit that law isn't law. And any law made by lawmaking bodies that don't fit that law is not real law until it's approved by a body that fits the new millennial golden rule, an entity, an assembly in your local, global, and universal neighborhoods that fits the description of the new millennial golden rule. It's that simple. You are the government. Turn off the television, shut down the lie. I'll put up the screen share. We'll be broadcasting again later. I'm angry. You know, I have Durga as well as Astrea in me. And I have some Kali too. We're getting to the point where Kali Ma is going to start coming out. Do you want bubonic plagues? Do you want huge die-offs? Do you want tsunamis that kill another couple of 100,000 like the ones at the beginning of this century? What do you want? Do you want a paradisal parity, or do you want plutonic patriarchal planetocide? Which do you want? Do you want to sacrifice the most central children of the most important genealogy on this planet, of your family and of everybody's family? Is that what you want? To please your need for control and denial? You are wounded in your eternal feminine. Face it. Gather with other women and howl about what you've let yourself become. And then hug one another and fill your cups overflowing with milk. And give it and feed it to one another and say, my darling sister, I want to tell you, you're very important, and your children are very important, and you cannot deny me or us or each other anymore. And I will not speak to you on terms that are filled with that kind of denial. I will not speak to you in venues that convince you that what you are doing in your male identification and your dronification is normal. You will hear from me, but not in the way that feeds your insanity anymore. I apologize to all those who I have tolerated too much of their absurdity. I love you so much. I've been very generous in my heart to you, but it's been the wrong path. You need a very firm, clear hand that tells you you're on the wrong path, and you need to look to Europe and the other places in this world that have gender parity, balance of love and work, universal health care, caring medicine that does not over-apply drugs and surgery, but involves family therapy and community resilience and family reunions, and switch to the right paradigm now. Okay? And we'll put up the screen share, and we wish you every blessing.